We're anchored in the middle of the river. Now, the suggestion is that you cast your bait downstream from the boat after lighting the fuse. See? Wouldn't you say that's a good suggestion? I think so. Now, anybody would go along with that. I think if they had any brain power at all, they'd go along with that. Don't need a rule. Let's just suggest that, you know. Yeah, that sounds good to me. Now, sometimes people, they get a little squirrely on you, and you suggest something, and they're like, I don't know. So we got a rule to back that up if we need it. You know, it's kind of like that thing in your back pocket. If you need it, you got it. But if you don't need it, leave it alone. You know. Here's a Southern suggestion and the rule that backs it up if you need it. It's suggested here in the New South that eating too much red meat could be bad for you, see? And there you go, see? Now you're gonna get the rule. Eating any green meat's bad for you. Now those of you who've come down here from somewhere else, you're welcome. We like you. My brother-in-law is from East Boston, Massachusetts. Now, my wife, her family is kind of split like that. Her mother is from Cary, North Carolina. Her father is from Brooklyn, New York. I know, sometimes they'll crossbreed like that. But the children can be saved if you marry them off to a good-looking Appalachian boy. So thank goodness my wife's okay. But her sister, we're not sure what happened to her. She moved off and married this boy from Boston. He's a nice fella. Phil Muse is his name. He came down when Joan and I got married 8 years ago, came down and visited, was here for the wedding. Right back he went. And for 8 years, I've been trying to get him to come back and visit. Won't do it. Now, they play my records on this radio station in Boston, WUMB radio. So I go up there once in a while and play around Cambridge, Boston, that area. And when I do, I always stay at their house. Now, I'm a Southerner, and I like to reciprocate, you know. Somebody puts me up and feeds me breakfast. When they're in my neck of the woods, I'm going to do the same thing for them. He won't come to my neck of the woods. He's always got some kind of feeble excuse. And the last time I called Phil to ask him to come down was last February. And I was at the house and I said, I'm going to call Phil, just get on him about it one more time. I called him, I said, Phil, why don't you come down about May? I said, the weather's nice. Got the race out there, you know, he's a big NASCAR boy. He said, I'd come down there in May, but the humidity. Can't take the humidity down there. Now, at that particular moment, I believe he had 38 inches of humidity in his front yard. So I wrote this song for Phil Muse. Thank you all who called WNCW and WSGE and pestered them about this song, because they played it a whole lot. It's mustard on the hot dogs and ketchup on French fried potatoes. Gravy on biscuits and cornmeal on fried green tomatoes. If you're cooking a pig, you need to start about 3 in the morning. And if you go to the beach, pay attention to hurricane warning. You don't order grits, they just come anytime you say eggs. Clear fingernail polish when chiggers get hold of your legs. Don't drink the moonshine unless you know where it was made. And never stand in the sun anytime you can sit in the shade. These aren't rules, it's just something things we figured out to make living easy when you're living here in the South. Honeysuckle tastes sweet if you suck the back end of a blossom. And catfish tastes great, but I don't know a soul who eats possum. If you're plowing a garden, a little Ford tractor will do. Oh, but get a John Deere if you got more than an acre or two. Now an old tractor tire painted white and placed in the yard makes a quite stunning planter, but don't use a tire from a car. Say a car tire you tie to a rope and you hang from a tree. And tobacco juice works like a champ when you're stung by a bee. These aren't rules, it's just some things we figured out to make living easy when you're living here in the South. You all is plural. If it's only one, just say you. It's alright to be Catholic or Mormon or Hindu or Jew. Say the Baptists don't own the South, they just use the name. Iced tea ain't for breakfast, then all barbecue ain't the same. Try to eat lunch where the waitresses all call you honey. And maybe one of these days you'll think John Boy and Billy are funny. The fact that people make money bass fishing's amazing. Their NASCAR's kicking, Indy cars, acid car racing.